Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Petal Talk podcast. I am your host, Allison Crowder, and today I have a very special friend here in the studio, my friend Haley Rogers. Okay. It's the first time I've said that out loud.
I know.
Congratulations as well.
Thank you.
I guess it's almost been a year.
Yeah, September. So
crazy. Hi, welcome to Petal Talk, where skincare meets soul care. So yes, Haley Rogers is in the studio. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's crazy to be
My
here.
pleasure. So crazy. We were touching base about this earlier. We met in Colorado.
Yeah.
When we both lived there, and we both had different last names.
I know.
And now
we
we're
were
here.
so young. I don't even think you were 21 yet.
No, I wasn't. I was 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is so wild. I was actually just telling Austin that on the way here. I was like, she came to a party at my apartment, and like a friend of mine. That's literally like the start of it all.
Right.
But
right.
yeah,
the party. Yeah, we was like a mutual friend, and I was like, yeah, why not? I was like, I had just moved there.
Yeah. So did I. I just started at the salon I was at.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to have like a little party icebreaker. Right. It's going to be a pure romance party. You get to know me real well, bring a friend. And
Right. And I was the friend.
Yeah.
And your whole girl group was there. And I remember thinking, these girls are like really cool. They're like a bit older than me. They were like drinking wine. And I was like, wow, this is like crazy. Like very impressionable.
I barely knew the people. I was like, I just need to.
Right. But it was so fun. And
it was so fun. Yeah.
Like,
that was like 2017.
Yeah, it was. That was crazy.
I know.
That's so weird. Yeah, and we've known each other ever since. And obviously, I moved to Utah, and you continued to do your own thing. And then we both left Avai, and then I'm moving to Florida. And then I see
weird. Me too.
You're moving too. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, wait, that's crazy.
It's so weird.
And now we're here.
Yeah. No.
So let's go back to obviously touching base on you being in a salon, right? I have a lot of people in the beauty industry on, right? And a lot of the conversations start and look like when you were little, doing Barbie hair, doing Barbie makeup. You have a sister, so working on your sister. What was that first moment when you were a kid that you were like, oh, I love glam?
So my aunt did hair, and I never, like as a young kid, I never was like, oh, hair is my thing. Like I had Barbies. I was your typical like little girl, but it was like high school, probably like around like Sweethearts Dancer. And I started like looking up YouTube videos of how to do like updos. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm so good at this.
Like the braids.
I love this. Yeah. And then, I don't know. I just started coloring my hair and
by yourself.
Yeah.
Like so young.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like purple and then black. And then eventually I went blonde, and I was like, yeah,
this is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
And then, I met someone who also went to hair school, and then we ended up like living together, and I was like, I'm going to go to hair school too. College was like not.
Tell me about that. You enrolled in college?
No,
you dropped
I didn't.
Out? Okay.
No. I was like, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm not going to college. Like that is not for me. I barely got through high school.
Yeah, same.
So, and I like knew, I was like telling my mom, like, I want to go to hair school. And me and my mom went and toured like all the hair schools in Colorado. And like, I walked into our school and I was just like, oh my God.
I felt the same way.
Literally sipped the tea and was like, yeah.
Yes. I remember on my very first day during my tour, they were doing some sort of like a breast cancer awareness hair and makeup show prep stuff. And so I walked in on like a crazy editorial day. And I remember I was from like a small town in Colorado, and I walk in and I'm like,
what is this?
This place exists? Like, this is crazy. And I remember, I don't know about you, but I cried on my tour, and I was like, I found my place. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Like,
beautiful. Big campus.
And the new one is like,
have you been?
I haven't like been, I didn't tour it, but
I haven't
gone
seen
to like one little classroom.
I've seen the pictures. It looks great.
All of those schools are
they're beautiful. Yeah. The guy that owns them, he really puts his money in there, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take your tour and you knew right away that was a school for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you start soon after that, or how long did you wait?
Yeah, that fall. So I like graduated high school and started that fall.
Oh, so like right away. So you knew in high school that's where you were going.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. It was like the summer after high school, but yeah. And so started right away and then graduated. Like it was pretty quick.
Tell me about your hair school experience, because I know people don't love beauty school. Personally, I had an excellent experience.
I did too, actually.
Okay, don't you think it was just our school that was just like great?
Yeah, and I was in we started, my class was like 30 people. It was the largest group that they had.
Wow, that's
at
crazy.
That time. And a lot fell off, but
yeah,
it was a good group of.
What side of the week were you on?
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, wait.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know.
I have no idea. Yeah. Actually, I was still going to hair school. This is a fun fact. Will probably age me. But I was still in hair school when we had like home phones, because I had a hair school friend call me on the home phone, and I was like, oh yeah, that was so long ago. Yeah. Anyways. Yes. Yeah, it was a good group of girls. I met some really close friends there, and I had a great time.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you got out of school what you were supposed to, or do you feel like there were pieces that were missed?
I think at that time I was like ready to, I feel like I learned everything that I should have in school. Mm-hmm. And then when I started doing like advanced education stuff in another salon, I was like, oh, I don't know everything. Right. I don't know all the crazy haircuts and highlights and all that stuff.
Right. Okay, so you finish school, and then what happens after that? You graduate and you're like, okay, I'm ready to rock. What do you do?
I moved straight to Texas.
Okay.
I was like, see you later.
Did you get your license in Colorado and then go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I stayed for like a few more months. I don't remember how long.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Texas, and I worked at a salon out there that had advanced education, and it was the same brand as like the school was. And
do you feel like that made it easy for you because it was just like an extension of school, kind of, because it was like the same color, the same protocols, kind of? Yeah, for the most part I was just comfortable with it. And but like I said, like the advanced education, I really like expanded my knowledge on everything, like products, color, haircuts, all that. And it was a year of Was this like an apprenticeship?
School. Yeah, it was an apprenticeship. So I worked for like 2 individual like master stylists. And then, which is like, that was like the foundation of my whole career, was going through that. It was like a roller coaster, but I am very thankful for it.
Is it because it's exhausting being an apprentice, or is it because it's...
You don't get paid well. Right. You're doing a lot of like the blood, sweat, and tears for somebody else's work, which is a lot, but I learned a lot going through that. And I still like go back to those times. Well, I don't do hair right now, but like throughout my career, I like went back to those times and was like, okay, yeah, like I nailed a 10-minute blow dry, like running behind, like all those little things that I like owe that portion of my, like the first part of my career too.
Did you like the girls that you worked for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had 4 locations, so it was a very large group, but yeah, I loved everyone that I worked with.
That's good. And so you felt like it was a good stepping stone.
Yeah, it was good for the position I was in my career. Like it was like, I got more education. I didn't start doing hair until like a year and a half into me moving there. So
you then did hair there after?
Yep. I started doing hair, and I was just like kind of thrown into the pit, just like, okay, you did it, like go do hair. And I was like, I have no idea how to take my first client. Like, and then, do
you remember what your first client was?
Yeah.
Do you?
It was a freaking balayage.
Oh no.
and this was 20.
Was it this before it was balayage?
This was 2014. 14. And I was like, this is like a super French thing. Like I have never learned this. Like we learned tipping in school. I don't know what this is, so I just wung it. It did not come out great.
No, I'm sure it was fine. Yeah,
but anyways, yeah.
Yeah, and then it worked out. So then you're there for how long? How long are you in Texas for?
I was there for, I moved back in 2017. So
okay.
about 3 years.
Okay. And you liked Texas overall, or?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I just was young. I just turned 21 when I moved there. And so I was like, I just want something new. Like where I was in my life, I was like, not really vibing where I am at. So I'm just going to start fresh. And to think back of like, it was crazy that I did that all by myself. I was just like leaving by myself.
Right.
And yeah, I loved it. I thought that it really was, it is the foundation of my whole career.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you ever go back? Would you ever live there again?
We almost moved there.
Really?
Because we were talking about moving out of the state just in general, and then we ended up moving here, but that was definitely on our list, was going back to Austin.
Yeah. Austin. How fun would that
be?
be?
I know, right? I feel like you like can't.
Right. But. So you go back to Denver.
Yep.
And then what happens then?
I started at a very well-known salon in Denver, at least in the community that we were in.
Huge. Arguably the biggest, I would say.
Yeah, it was. I remember in hair school, like even touring, and they were like,
cool.
They're like, nobody gets into this salon.
Very
they're
exclusive.
So choosy, and like it's like full of beautiful women, and like I actually like I still lived in Texas, and I flew home for like an interview.
Oh wow!
And I walked out of the interview like, I think I like secured this. Like I think I nailed that. And then I came back for like a working interview, and they were like, you're hired. And I was like, I literally cried. I was like, no way. Like I was shocked.
Yeah.
And I started they had 2 locations. I started at the like Golden location and
by the mall.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you start working there, and you're not doing any sort of apprenticeship. You just start doing hair right off the bat.
Yeah, I started doing hair right off the bat. I was like a level 2 stylist, so I was like very low. And then very quickly I got like a raise just from, it was a busy salon. So I built a clientele pretty quickly. And they did advanced education for like their stylists. They had an apprenticeship program, but I obviously wasn't. I had already done that. Yeah. So I was just doing hair full time.
That's crazy. And then is that when you start doing all of the extension work? Because that was kind of your bread and butter. Right?
Yeah. So, well, in Texas, I did like very minimal extensions. Weren't really like tape-ins were a thing.
Right.
And then just as time went on, like people started coming up with new techniques and stuff. Right. And I didn't start doing extensions like really probably like 2 years into my career in Colorado. Yeah.
And that was all like hand-tied, right? I remember seeing a lot of like, this is special.
I did a lot of tape-ins, like I said, like in the beginning, but then new methods were coming out, and I was like, the owners of the salon were like, we need 2 people to kind of take this class and bring it back to us. And I was like, let me do it. Yes. Yeah. And I just like, I took the class, and I was like, this is what I need to be doing. Like I loved it so much.
Right. Do you feel like that really catapulted your business or changed your business? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like it was like a new level you were entering into, or like how do you feel like you were able to use like your extension business to coincide with like your color? Because that was really what you're known for, is like your color and kind of extensions. How did that support your career?
I felt like at that time, like not a lot of people were doing extensions. Right. Like I felt like I was kind of like not above everybody else. I was kind of like different from what I was like providing my clients, in the sake of like, I was like transitioning my clients from like, well, we can do balayage and we don't even have to touch your hair with color, but like, we can just do it with extensions and then you don't have to damage your hair. And like, it was a quicker transformation and you get like fuller hair. Like, I don't know. I just felt like a little bit different, especially just like in that salon, everyone was doing just color and cuts and
and like fashion colors. I do want to touch on as well. Fashion colors were also kind of your jam.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My like, what I specialized in changed like a lot because I would just like latch onto something. And again, like I just liked being someone different in the salon. So like I would get like all these fashion colors randomly, and I was like, this is just, it just like became my thing. Yeah. And I loved it, especially with the color line. That it was like a natural color line, and that I could achieve these looks with that. Like it was wild. It blew my mind. I was just like, wow, it was really fun too.
I was just gonna say, it's so fun to think about that time, because I think that the industry has changed a lot since then. Yeah. In a lot of ways, but I also think that brand specifically, you and I have a lot of similarities in, you know, changing your mind and moving on to something else and whatever. But that time was such a special time in the industry. There was so much coming out with colors, specifically like fashion colors. Yep.
They just launched their new like vibrant line, and that was like
so exciting. God. Makeup had just resurged, and so it was a lot of information for skin. Like it kind of was like a peak, at least for me, a really large peak of this doesn't get any better. There's a lot of education. People are traveling. I mean, this is like right before COVID too, right? So it's like everything kind of came to a head later. But I think of that time so fondly in my professional life, because it just was so much all the time. New launches, so exciting. A lot of attention I think the brand was getting, and it was like fun to be a part of. I was like so proud. It was cool. And I'm sure
they were starting to kind of target like a younger audience too, which was like so exciting.
Yes. Which is where I think why people like you and me thrived so much, is because we were so much younger, and we understood right away the trends and bridging that gap between like the young people, because this brand is traditionally for older women, which is totally fine. But then you have like happy, cute girls like us, and it's like totally different.
And you're achieving younger looks with it. And that was such a pivotal time for that brand.
Right.
Sure.
And then what happened?
And then COVID happened.
And it all went downhill. No.
I still think it's a great brand. I mean, I still use some of the stuff.
I do too.
The freaking tea is...
It's so good.
The literal tea is amazing.
We both, I think, have tattoos to represent. Yeah. Do you? You do. Do you have a tattoo? You don't have one?
Oh, no, I
just
don't.
me? Oh, I'm like so embarrassed. Okay, yeah.
No, it's okay. I've like honestly thought about it, and...
Well, don't do it now.
No. But yeah, I mean... Yeah, COVID happened, and a lot changed for the brand, for the salon I was at.
Will you share, as much as you're comfortable with, what that transition looked like at the salon?
Yes. The salon, when I started, it was a very, very close group of girls. We went to Vegas. We went out all the time. Like
everyone was jealous. It's like the hot girl squad that makes a ton of money. They ran Denver.
If it was crazy. It sure seemed like it.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
We like the owners definitely, they took care of us, and they were girls, and it was like it was
two women.
So awesome. Yeah, it was
and they
two
were
best friends.
Besties. Yeah.
Unfortunately, like during COVID, there was some turmoil between them, and I won't get into that.
Yes.
But people in the salon definitely sided with one side or the other. And I mean, people did side, and then there were people who literally didn't care. But one owner left, and it was pretty soon after that a lot of stylists left, which I understand. But I kind of took it as like I was not a top stylist there by any means yet, but I kind of selfishly took that as like I need to stay here so that
this is my time.
Because a lot of the people that left were the top stylists there, and I kind of was like, I'm not comfortable yet leaving. And a lot of those girls, they were all of them are my friends.
Right.
Started their own little suite. And I thought that was awesome. And I personally wasn't in the position to do that. And selfishly, I kind of was just like, I'm going to kind of
take this
little opportunity to hike to the top. And I did. And I just grew from there. COVID was a hard time to grow in general. But I think once we kind of got over the
first
harshness,
chunk,
the first part of it, I really like blossomed into. being the best that I could be like in the industry. And
And so how long after were you there until you went and did your own thing?
Let's see. I think I left in 2022.
Okay.
2021. Yeah. I did my own thing for 2 years, just about. So it was probably like a year and a half-ish after everyone else had already left. And I had my own reasons for why I left. The salon changed quite a bit, and it didn't really align with things that I believed in or things that I thought was right for me and my clients and my career. And
can you touch on any of those if you want?
Yeah. I, at one point, kind of lost a few clients from certain things that the salon was advertising, which I think is common, but I kind of started to lose people just in general from like a price increase that was kind of like not planned on my part. It was more for the salon, and like it didn't feel right for me. And then there was a change. So at this point they just have one salon. They sold the other one, and it's just one sole owner.
Okay.
So it was just our small little group, and it kind of turned into a mini hair school.
Yeah.
And at this point I was like 10 years into my career.
Yeah.
And
like, I can't do this. I
was like getting like little write-ups for not having like a water bottle, spray bottle at my station. And I'm like,
stop.
Yeah. It was like little weird things. Like we had like little state board,
like frames with your license.
No, like a little like, a report card.
Oh,
like literally like it turned into like a little hair school. And I was just kind of like, this is.
Yeah. You just knew.
Yeah, I just knew it was my time I couldn't see myself growing there anymore.
Was that a hard, like, emotional decision?
It was very hard.
Like, yeah,
it was very hard. I, like, 6 months before leaving, I had gone to the owner, who was a really close friend of mine.
Right.
And I had told her that I was feeling uninspired in my career, and that, like, I wanted to take classes, or I just kind of, like, I'm just feeling, like, not
I need something
great.
New.
And I was just kind of going to her, too, as a friend to be like, help me out.
Right.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to grow much more.
Right.
And I was kind of told just, like, you'll get through it. Like, just kind of suck it up. And ultimately, that led me to leave the salon, because I kind of was just like, I didn't find inspiration on my own. And I kind of came to you for that. But unfortunately, that salon couldn't give it to me. And so I just decided to leave. And it was very hard to like confront my friend and my boss and be like, I'm leaving. I'm like crying.
I'm sure.
At that moment too.
Well? Was it received like a...
No.
Oh, geez.
At that time, it was kind of just like, okay.
Right.
And I get like the separation between like friends and business is a huge thing, but like as close as I thought we were, like I didn't get any of like nothing. Yeah. No, like no reaction, but that's okay.
Like, no, like I'm proud of you. I know it's hard. Right.
We did have an exit interview, and I kind of expressed my feelings on why I wasn't feeling the salon anymore. Cause she had asked me she said, I never ask, excuse me. I never ask people if they go and leave my salon and work for another salon. I never ask people why they do that, because if you don't want to work for me, then I respect that. Like, I'm never going to ask that. But I want to ask you why you're leaving the salon. You have benefits, you're a top stylist, all this, to go and do your own thing, to where you have to run your own books, run your own taxes, banking, like all of that. And I told her, like, just straight up, like, I cannot be managed anymore. Like 10 years into my career, I just can't be like micromanaged and like kind of like there's an educator like walking behind me being like, are you foiling correctly? Yeah, right. I'm like, I don't need that.
Right.
And it was just right for my clients as well to just,
which is actually the most important part, is that your guests are taken care of, because those are who pay for your whole life, right? Like that, those are your people.
Yeah. I had some clients that were seriously like I'm so sorry, but the only reason I come to this salon is because of you.
Right.
Like if you weren't here, I wouldn't come here.
Yeah.
And then I had people that stopped coming to me because of the salon. Right. So I was just like, it's time to go. Just for me and my career, if I'm going to grow anymore, this is what I have to do.
Right.
And at that time, I feel like the industry was kind of starting to go that direction where people were like, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to do things on my own. Like booth rental started becoming like huge when that used to not be that way.
It used to be almost like frowned upon to go out and do your own thing.
Like people used to literally be like, that's the end of a hairstylist career.
Yes. It was like, that's how you know that they're not doing anything or they're like not making money is when they grasp at straws.
Booth rental or suite rental.
Which is so funny because it's not true. No. At all.
No.
At all.
No.
Okay, so I can so relate because when I left as well, it was like excruciating. So I can only imagine.
Painful.
It's so hard. Emotionally, physically.
Leaving the brand itself as well. You can't use that brand if you're going to be a booth rental stylist or a...
And something that I had people tell me in the past, and I chose not to believe them, was that it was very much like a Mean Girls club. And it was like a lot of people who are snooty, like think that they're better than other people. And when I was in it, I'm sure you feel the same. I was like, there's no way. Like these are the best. These are my best friends. I have met everyone that I love, including my husband, through this brand. If it weren't for that, I would have no one, no nothing. You wouldn't be here. My best friends. I met my husband because his sister was a student of mine. Like it was, everything is from that. But then when I left, like, oh, you're right.
We don't know you.
And we don't speak to you anymore.
Yeah.
And that was hard.
Yeah.
Because it was. By the time I left as well, it was like 9 years. And that's hard. And I remember, I don't know if you're like this as well. I'm like very emotional. I would go home to my husband and sobbing every day, every week. This is not right, but I don't know what else. I don't know who I am if I don't have this.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
It's the comfort and like you think you have such a strong bond with, and these are your friends and these are your people. And then you do something for yourself and they're like,
mad.
You're done.
Yes. You're out of the group.
You're out of the hot girls group. Sit with us.
Yes. And I was so excited about it.
Yeah.
And so I can only relate from my experience, but it was tough. And it's hard because, you know, I don't know if you felt like this, but I would hear stories of people, you know, educators as far as now friends and 20, 30, 40 years. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to be that so bad. Like that's so cool. And to know that mine was getting cut short, I remember feeling like this is so not fair. Like I'm so sad. And then, you know, things get better.
And then here we are.
Yeah. And then actually my world didn't end.
Best decision.
Actually, the best decision. My world actually didn't end. It almost started at that time. So you decide I'm doing my own thing. What does that transition from those like 6 months? Are you slowly starting to look at venues? Like, what does that look like for you?
So it was actually kind of a sudden change because like 6 months after I had that conversation with my boss, one of my friends from the other location that had been sold, I saw her post like a cute little selfie in like a salon suite. And I was like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Right.
And she was like, I'm just waiting for like my suite to be done. So I'm using like so-and-so's suite. I'm gonna have a suite of my own. I was like, that's so cool. Like I wish I could get into that because it was a brand new location and there was a long waiting list. And she was like, well, come and do it with me. And I was kind of just like, same thing. I went home to Austin and I was like, what do you think? And he was like, if it feels right, like it feels right. And I was like, it does feel right. Like, I feel like this is my opportunity to like, one, get into a suite because they were so popular. Right. But also just to like branch off and do my own thing. And so we actually like went on a trip. So like that week, like the next day, we went on a week-long trip somewhere. And then I came back from the trip and I kind of was just like, okay, I'm leaving. Yeah. So scared. And then me and Gabby, She's one of my best friends.
Yes.
We started our own little suite, and we were actually just in like a little solo suite, and we like crammed 2 chairs in there, and like it was the best freaking time.
Yeah,
like,
tell me about it.
And we were friends already, but we really like blossomed such a awesome friendship out of this little tiny suite that we had. And oh my God, she's amazing. But I don't know. We like both kind of like bounced ideas off of each other, and we both had the same ideas as far as like how the suite looked. And I don't know, it was so fun. And then eventually we were kind of like, it's kind of tight in here. Like we're like bumping elbows and like I'm shampooing and she's like mixing color. Like we're in the like in coat closet. And then just like a month later, there was like a brand new suite thing opening.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's get in on that. And we like opened up a double suite, and we like took a wall out, and that's how much we like grew in that like 8 months. We were just like, we can now get into like a double suite and have like a window and 2 shampoo bowls and
place for snacks,
wine, like all the things. And it was the best. It was the best.
How was the transition with your guests? What did they say?
They loved it. They loved it. They were like, I feel so much more connected to you. Like it's more personal. I don't have to like wait in a checkout line.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm being pressured to like buy products. And like all of my clients like bought products. They were like the little golden eggs of clients. Like they just loved buying anything that I told them to buy. And they just didn't like doing it so much at the salon because they knew a lot of it was going to the salon.
Right.
And so a lot of them were like, I feel like all of my money is like going to you, and that's why I come to you, is to like support you. And me and my clients grew like a better connection over the 6 years of me doing their hair. So
what is your advice that you have for someone who's in a similar position, who is so nervous to make the jump from commission to booth rent?
It's tricky because it is nerve-wracking. It is like whatever position you're in, it's a huge change. You're running a full-on business. And when I first started, it was a lot for you. I have to learn. For a while, I just did hair. Yeah. And then I had to learn like taxes.
Like, Dad, help.
I'm like, what's going on? I don't know how to do this. But you learn it super quick. And it seriously, like and with all the like online education now, there's so many like things that you can like learn from online and in-person classes instead of like the person sitting next to you. Like, I don't know. It's definitely, I definitely recommend it, especially now in the way the industry is going. It's you're more connected with your people, and it's just you and your client, and like they value you more and you value them more. And it's not just like a sweatshop of just like, okay, you go sit over here and I'm going to do this person. And then like, it's
more intentional.
It's intentional.
And it's special.
It is special. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So then you're there for about 2 years doing that with her.
Yeah, 2 years.
And then you add on a third. I think I've seen a third.
This is going to be really bad at me, but I stole I stole one of my best friends from the other salon, and she's a brand new stylist.
Okay.
Like she went through the apprentice program and just got on the floor there. And I was like, you should come with me.
Let me take care of you.
Let me take care of you, and I need help.
Right.
So she was my assistant for a little bit and was learning off of me. And then when we moved to the double suite, I was like, how about you work like half the week and I'll work half the week. And then like 6 months after that, I was like, well, I'm leaving.
She's like, what?
So here's my whole career. Wow. Like I just gave her all of it. And I'm really glad that I gave it all to her, because
I bet she's so
she
thankful.
is like this young, cute thing. And I seriously like wouldn't have given it to anyone else. She reminds me of myself when I was like 21 and just starting off. And like, if I had the opportunity to be handed someone's whole career, like 6 months into me doing hair, like, and she deserves it.
She's the best.
Yeah. And my clients love her. And she's just,
that like makes me so happy. That like makes me emotional. I'm like, we'd love to see her win.
Oh my God, I love it. And she texts me all the time because she's in a suite by herself now.
Okay.
And she's like 2 years into doing hair. So she's still very new, and she's
crazy.
like fully booked and like double booking with all my clients. And like, she's like, help me. Like sometimes she's like, help me. And I'm like, you got it. Like I'm here for you, but
but you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you get married.
Yeah.
And then, which we love so much. I love to see you happy and thriving, and he just seems like the best for you, which is great. Yeah. How did you guys meet? I don't actually know that. Did you meet through friends?
No. I slid into his DMs.
As you should. Honestly,
I was like, I've never been the girl to do it, but you're really cute.
Yeah.
And I'm shooting my shot. I had a bottle of wine in me. I was like, let's do it.
I love that. And you guys started dating around COVID as well, right?
Right before COVID.
I feel like you guys are on the same path as me and Justin. I feel like we all started dating at the same time and got married like around the same time as well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. We met August of 2019, right before COVID.
Yeah.
Whatever year that was. It's all a blur. But right before COVID. So we were a COVID couple, and we actually were very casual for the first year, like not public or anything, because we were just like
chill. Enjoying each
and
other.
that is like, it was perfect for both of our situations. And we like thrived through COVID, and then he proposed, and then we got married, and seriously, we're just like,
that's what
I don't want to be here anymore.
Okay. So he's from here, or he's from Colorado. And so he says to you, or what does that conversation look like? I want to move.
Born and raised in Colorado, never left, never wanted to. And we got married, and like a whole new man came out of him. Like we got engaged, and he was just like, I'm ready to like,
I think that happens sometimes.
He was at the same job since high school. Like he worked his way up to like the top guy at the, and so he was just like, I've just been very comfortable in my life. Like, so I'm just ready for something new, and I'm sick of the winter. And so I was like, let's move somewhere warm.
Right.
And then we just picked Florida, and then his sister ended up moving like the same time we did. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. We're just building our own little family out here.
So he quits his job and decides that he wants to be an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And you say, I'm going to quit my job. And I've kind of been an entrepreneur, but now what does that conversation look like? What are we going to do? We're going to move to Florida and then do what?
Yeah. So if there's anything to know about my husband, it's that he is a clean freak.
Okay.
And so we were kind of thinking of starting something lucrative that would always kind of be a need for people. And so he came up with a cleaning business idea. And so, we pretty much were just like, we were set on that. And we know that Florida's a vacation snowbird town. And so we were like, we could do really well doing that. Unfortunately, I had to also be like, I think this is the end of my hair career.
Right.
Which was really hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I love this industry, and I will always be in it. I know that there will come a time again where I was going to ask, in it.
What does that look like for you?
I'll come back.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if
I
don't know if I'll. The thing is like when we moved, I was like, I don't have it in me to. I'm 10 years or 12 years into my career. Moving across the country is a completely restart.
It's a lot of work.
That's a lot, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. So, I was like fully like, I'm just gonna help you with this. Like we're gonna be business owners together, and I'm gonna hang up my career for now, and we'll see. But I know I'll always make my way back to the beauty industry. It's the freaking best.
It's so fun.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So, well, you have to, because you're an excellent hairstylist, and you absolutely have to. If it's not soon, at some point, because it's a real tragedy that no one in the state of Florida, except for maybe your sister-in-law and like me, know that you're an excellent hairstylist. So I look forward to seeing that post one day.
Yeah, we'll see.
When you look at your business, share a little bit about what that looks like right now and what you guys do, what you offer, and the vision, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so we are a cleaning service. We specialize in like Airbnbs, annual rentals, short-term rentals, snowbird homes. We just expanded to doing commercial, so we're actually getting into salons. Nice. We're just kind of like growing from there, and we're we're like TikTok famous.
I was just going to ask about that. I'm like, tell me, no. I know it's you, the brain behind it. Yeah. Tell me about the I've seen it, the things attached to the Roomba and the like power
it's so
tool.
Funny. Like, it's so funny, the things that like, it's so random. The cleaning part of social media, people love it.
Okay, I kind of do too.
It's like ASMR or like just like the organizing.
I like the organizing, yeah.
Oh my God.
I want to see your guest bathroom. Like, show me.
Stock up everything in your kitchen. I want to see it.
Yes.
For sure. I kind of just was like, I'm just going to wing it. And it like worked. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Have you gotten a lot of business because of that?
We have. There's not a lot of, I mean, TikTok is not really like a business platform.
Right.
It's just for people to scroll.
Sure.
Like Instagram and Facebook, we're growing rapidly too. So we'll get more business once that starts to kind of grow a little more. But yeah.
I love that. So that is what you guys are both doing full time.
Yes.
What does a transition look like from owning your own hair business to owning your own business in a totally different industry? What kind of stress, pressure does that bring starting something totally new?
It was definitely out of our realm of, I mean, like you think of cleaning a house and you're like, anyone could clean a house.
Right.
And then you go and clean like a freaking mansion and you're like, where do I start? Like there's a lot to be learned in this industry. And we did think it was going to be easy. A lot of things are easy, like on the business end of things, because he's like really good at certain things and I'm really good at certain things, or I learned certain things owning my own business. But like the actual like service itself is a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. So, so we've grown a lot and we've learned a lot in the last just 8 months of doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Has it only been 8 months? I guess it has. You guys moved here in October?
Yeah. On Halloween. Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, I know.
Where do you guys see yourself in the next, what do the goals look like in a year, 5 years, 10 years? What will it look like, hopefully?
We want to grow into kind of like your one-stop shop for all of your properties needs. So landscaping, paint, everything. Okay. Like we just want to like an Airbnb host to like call us and be like, I need this done, I need this done, I need this done. And we're just like your one-stop shop for it all.
Almost like your one source for everything.
Yeah.
What does his family think about him moving and doing his own thing and like totally doing like a 180? What does your family think about it?
My family, I put them through the ringer. So they're just like,
they're like, this is actually the least
I'm
crazy.
Used to this. So obviously because we just got married, my parents were like, well, like, I just, so it was hard for them, but they were just like, it's not new for us to experience this with you. His family, they're very just like, they lived in Colorado. His mom moved to Indiana. And so like, so it was it kind of just seemed right though for everyone. Like everyone was just like, go do it. And like you and your sister are going out there. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah. That'll be so great when she ever gets out here for you to have.
Oh yeah. My sister.
Especially like as adults, like to have him and his sister and then you and your sister, adult siblings living by each other. It's so fun.
I know.
That's where we're at. It's so fun.
I know. I keep trying to get my sister out here.
She needs to.
My mom is like, stop it.
If you're watching this, Chanel, you have to come out here. Seriously, you can come on the pod too. You have to. Okay, that's so fun. I can't believe it's only been not even a year.
I know.
You are in Sarasota.
Yes.
Tell me what it's like to live in Sarasota thus far.
It's like a movie. Mm-hmm. We kind of just, like I said, we just pointed on a map and we were like, let's go here. And, it's a beach town and it's such our vibe, even though we're not like, we weren't beach people. Now we are. And like even people like message me from Colorado and they're like, you just took on the beach persona so quickly. And I'm like, wow, thank you.
Like that's a really nice compliment. It's a
really nice compliment. Yeah. It's fun. It's new. It's growing there. I feel like a lot of people are kind of finding out about it. So I think it's going to get busy here soon.
I'm sure.
But it's a great place.
Do you feel like in being a beach person has also changed your health journey. Because you guys are very much on your health grind.
Yes, we are.
Tell me about that.
It's so easy to, in Colorado, when it's winter time, at least for me, and I know a lot of other people, the gym doesn't sound so fun when you have to drive through a blizzard and you want to eat soups and like,
and it's dark and you want to just watch movies.
Let me eat a whole box of pasta. Like I just want to be comfortable.
Yes,
and like,
I want to be cozy,
fat and happy,
right?
Like a cat,
right?
but yeah, it has definitely been healthier mentally, physically.
I'm sure.
Everything,
right?
Like who could be depressed in the sun,
right?
The sun's always
rains
out.
So much.
I know, but it's not. It's a good rain.
Yeah,
it's a warm rain.
It's like a fun. It feels like, I don't know if you feel like this, but every time it rains and it's so humid, it feels like I'm like a little kid. It's like it feels like a nostalgic type of rain.
I know. I want to go run out in the rain. It's like, kiss me in the rain. Literally, like it is like a movie. And people are always like, Florida's so hot. And I'm like, yeah, but also it's like 100 degrees in Colorado right now, too.
Right?
And it's the desert.
Right.
So.
And it's so dry. And I have this conversation all the time. People are like, just wait, the humidity, just wait.
Bring it on.
Thus far,
it's
like,
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How bad
I know.
it get?
We're in July, and
That's
I'm like,
what
where is the...
Right. Especially coming from Vegas, please.
Right.
130 degrees, 120 degrees. I can handle anything.
In the desert, yeah.
Ryan's laughing at me because he is the one that always gives me a hard time about. He's like, you have no idea what it's like, and I'm like, I think if I could live in Las Vegas, which is actually hell.
Listening to this, they're like these
two dumb girls from Colorado.
Yeah,
just wait till August.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's, I don't know. I guess we'll reassess in a couple weeks.
But you know what? I'm 10 minutes from the water, so
right. Please. Well, I'm not like spending all day outside. Like I'm not going outside at 2 p.m. Like I have things to do. I'm not
sitting in the AC.
Right. I'm in my car. I'm at work. I'm at my house. Whatever.
That's so funny.
So share with me a little bit about your fitness journey and kind of what your guys' kind of new love for it. What has your relationship been with like the gym and just like living a healthier lifestyle? Share a little bit about that because I know that is kind of a part of obviously just what I've seen digitally with him specifically. It seems like. Maybe not when you guys got engaged or married or whatever, but it's almost like he's really grown into himself.
Yeah.
Which I think you also have is like, we want to be these better types of people who take care of our mind, take care of our body, take care of our business. Like, what has that journey looked like?
Austin's always been like a super fit person. He raced dirt bikes and
I've seen those crazy.
Yeah. So he's always been like a super active person. And I've never been with a person who is like so active and just like fit and eats healthy.
Like positive.
Like, and so it was very inspiring for me to, I wanted to be like, it inspired me to be a better person, like for myself too. But I'm also like, I'm going to be with this guy. I have to look the part. I
have to be jacked too.
But truthfully, when we moved here, he kind of started his journey of being just like an online coach, like an inspiration to people to get into the fitness industry and even just like a wellness, like mental health, kind of to like find your purpose in life, which is amazing. Yeah. It's so amazing to watch him do all that. But, and he has inspired a ton of people. He's the perfect person for that. He's such a good person, but, for me, it's helped me a lot. And he has definitely pushed me to make healthier choices, even just like cutting out bad habits and just doing things that are like better for me mentally, physically, like all those things, without even like trying. He does that. So I know like when he coaches other people and like he actually like tries to help other people, like it's going to be amazing. But he's like, he's growing all of that, and it's very cool to watch.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I think this is so the life that you were supposed to live, right? Obviously, we met each other when we were living like actually completely different types of lives. And it's so nice and refreshing. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but to watch you really come into yourself and like this is the version of you that like you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
And it feels like I'm supposed to be here. Like it feels comfortable, even though I've never been in this position in my life where I do care about the habits and the decisions that I make. Where like when we were both like in the same situation, I was doing, you know, habits that were just more for like avoidance and just things that I thought were like helping me. Yeah. Just making decisions that weren't helping me. But I also wasn't in the mindset to really care because I was just like I'm just out here living and drowning. And now I'm like, and now I'm just like, no, I was supposed to go through that. I'm supposed to like learn from that. And now here I am like blossoming and like just doing things that make me a better person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I love to hear that. I think it's nice to know that you're out of that. Right. And I think that you, obviously when you started dating him and your life changed, you know, you get out of that, but there is something, cause I feel the same with Justin and I being in a new city and state as well, of we get to be new versions of ourselves and not like we're changing so much and we're totally different people, but we have a fresh start, a clean canvas. We get to work on our marriage, think about the next steps, right? Like think about all of what that looks like and have no pressure from anyone to be a certain way, or like, you know, when you have like old friends that maybe you don't align with anymore, it's like hard, but now you're so far away. It's like, sorry, you get to do your own thing. And I think moves are good. People who live in the same state their whole life.
I think Austin really needed it. I'm not going to say that I needed it. Like I was pretty happy with where I was in the situation that we were both in, but I knew that Austin needed it. The same way I needed to move to Texas. Right. And so I kind of was just I was just like, let's go.
Who brought up the idea of moving first?
He did.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just says, hey.
And I'm such a yes girl. I'm like, yeah. Okay.
Really?
We're sitting at Qdoba, which by the way, they don't have Qdoba here. At least.
Oh, I have no idea. Is that your jam?
Yeah, it's our jam.
Oh, that's a shame.
Whatever.
Maybe there's one over in this side.
Maybe. But we were sitting down eating lunch and he was like, what do you think about moving to Florida? And I was like, yeah.
Like, I would actually love to. Thank you for asking.
Let's do that. I would love to live on the beach. Yeah. And he was like, really? Yes.
Why did he pick Florida? Just because it was like a beachy area?
One of his like best friends moved to Tampa like a year before this conversation. And we came and visited on his birthday and we were kind of just like, it feels right. We're on the water. We don't want to move to California. Like,
yeah, I know.
So yeah, it just felt right. We like literally were driving. We just drove the whole coast pretty much to kind of find a spot. And we like turned the corner to Sarasota and it was like,
oh my gosh.
We're like, yes, this is where we belong. And so we were just like,
I love that.
3 months before we got married that we did that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when you went into your wedding, you're like, oh yeah, this is happening. Like for sure.
We were already like the house was on the market.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
No.
And now you're here and now we're here. Just
I know.
In a totally different setting. And
I know. It's so refreshing.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to be in, don't you feel like it's almost like a different country? When you see like the trees and
I
the
know.
foliage.
The birds.
Yes.
I literally feel like I live in the rainforest. With some of the birds, that. I'm like, yes. That thing lives here?
Yes. Yes. And especially, you know, obviously coming from Vegas to here. Oh, yeah. Everything's dead and dry and rock.
Yeah.
And
oh, yeah. Colorado, too.
Yeah.
Like the summers, everything's just brown. Yes. Here, everything's like, it rains for 20 minutes and it's like, a new flower is coming out of the ground. Like it's so lush here.
Has he enjoyed mowing the lawn? That's a skill that my husband has picked up. He's really passionate about mowing the lawn right now.
We have a love-hate with our lawn situation right now.
Okay. Not great.
He did buy a lawnmower and he's like really wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
He does a great job. We're just renting our house right now.
Sure.
And we just found it on a website and showed up and we were like, oh, this is not like the photos, but
yes,
he's done a lot of work and made this house look so good for us to just move out of it.
Yes. But yeah. Do you think you'll move to a different place after your lease is up? Yeah. Well, you can always come to Orlando if you want. Well, I guess obviously your business and like your whole family's over there, so maybe not, but you're always welcome to come visit wherever you'd like in this central area. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Okay, amazing. Well, do you have any final thoughts, anything you want to share, any words of wisdom that you can leave behind to someone maybe who is, maybe they're in a similar position. Maybe they are maybe not feeling fulfilled with hair anymore. They want to do something else, or maybe they have wanted to be an entrepreneur in a different industry. Do you have any advice or any thoughts to share?
Yeah, I feel like as far as the beauty industry, for people who are new, or for just anyone who is nervous about getting into the industry or like changing something in the industry, there's plenty of seats at the table, and there's enough to go around for everyone. The beauty industry is not going anywhere. And I feel like it's headed into a direction that is just gonna be just something completely different than what I was used to when I first started. So if you're thinking about getting into the hair industry, do it. It's amazing. And you meet your best friends, and it's like, it is really amazing. And then as far as like starting your own business and all that, it seems like a lot of work, but if I can do it, you can do it.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm just a hairstylist, but
oh my gosh, you're so much more than a hairstylist. But yes,
but now I can actually say I'm a businesswoman, and I know like business things, and it's, I never thought someone who was like, I'm never going to college, like would know anything about running a business, and here I am.
Right.
It's so worth it.
Yeah. What do you think is the best part about owning your own business?
Financial freedom, creating your own schedule, saying no to things that you don't want to do. And the bonds that you make are even stronger than the ones that you think that you'll make. Yeah.
Well, I love it. It's been so fun to watch over, I mean, we've known each other for a long time.
I know.
Right? It's so weird. So nice to watch, and like so lovely, especially in the last few years, to watch you grow and blossom. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of your relationship and your life, and you just seem so happy and healthy, and it's just been so nice to watch, and I'm just so excited for you. And I'm so glad that you made the drive all the way here.
Of course.
So we could chat.
I know.
And tell everyone who's listening and watching where they can find you individually, pimp out your business, share a little bit about where they can find you, where they can schedule you. Perhaps if someone is watching who lives in the area and desperately needs some support with their Airbnb, pimp yourself out.
We are Avai Property Solutions on every platform, AVAI. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the platforms.
And we'll send you some of these clips too, and you can use them for whatever, for your, promoting necessary needs. Well, thank you so much, Haley Rogers, for joining us today. It was such a pleasure having you on, and I think a lot of people are going to learn a lot from this episode. And
it was so fun.
You're just the best, and I'm so happy that you're here.
Me too.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.